to you today with the Iceland Q&A. Till this day, I'm still getting questions about my Iceland trip back in 2018. I know this is long overdue, but I had went to Iceland in the month of September and I came back at the beginning of October, so I was there for a week or so, but I wish I would have stayed longer. I'm just gonna say this: the next time I go back, I will be camping and I will be staying for like 2 weeks. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this Iceland Q&A, and I'm just gonna go over the main questions that people were pretty much asking me. So I don't want to make it too long. I just want to give you as much information as I can, like of what I researched and when I was there. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So the first question I got from my family is, what made you pick Iceland? Why do you want to go to Iceland? So I wanted to go to Iceland because it just looks so beautiful. From all the pictures I was seeing, it was beautiful. From all the YouTube videos I watched, it was beautiful. Primarily, the reason why I went to Iceland, and this was a solo trip, so I went by myself, was because it was safe. And if I knew I was going to be going out of the country for the first time on my own, I wanted to go to a place that was very safe. So I did do my research, and Iceland is rated the top, I think it's rated #1, the safest country in the world to go traveling by yourself as a woman. So that's primarily why I did go there. When and how did I plan it? So like I said, I went at the end of September. So I went from September 28th all the way to October 4th or 5th. And I was there. I had 4 full days. So I live in Colorado. They are 7 hours ahead of me. So I did get there at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning, and I went straight from the airport to the Blue Lagoon, and I'll get into details when I get to that. And altogether, another question I always get is, how much was the trip? You'll be surprised of how much I paid for my round trip ticket. When I tell people, they're like, what? You paid only that much? So I brought my ticket. It was like 12 a.m. at night on a Tuesday. They say that's the cheapest day. I think Tuesday and Wednesdays are the cheapest days to buy tickets. I don't even know. I just brought the ticket. And so when I saw the ticket, it was $427. Or actually, no, it was like $435, about $435 for a round trip from Denver to Iceland, straight direct flight. And I was like, what? I brought it right away, because I was like, you know, when's the next time I'm going to see a ticket this price to go to Iceland? And it had been on my radar, and I had been looking at numerous videos, pictures, and did my research. So I was like, why not just go ahead and buy it? And so I went ahead and bought it. And then I, you know, of course, got my travel insurance for, you know, baggage, you know, luggage lost, or, you know, health insurance, you know, for the time I was going to be there. And so, yeah, altogether, my ticket with the insurance and everything ended up coming to $527. And I was like, booked. And so then I started to look at accommodations, so hotels of where to stay. And the place I stayed, it was called the Smargata Rooms. So I will be listing their information in the description box, and I'll probably have some pictures posted here so you guys can see what their rooms look like, because they were really nice rooms. What it was, I'm repeating myself, sorry. It was a mansion, and they had pretty much renovated out these rooms and like turned them into like, they were very nice rooms, very comfortable. The beds were comfortable. They didn't have TVs in there, but you had a kitchen, a shared kitchen with all the residents there. You had, the bathrooms were shared. There was a full bathroom, and then there was a half bathroom. And the whole time I was there, there was one couple there, and they were only there for one night. They left, and I was there for the rest of the time by myself. So I had the bathrooms to myself. I had the kitchen to myself. I was cooking. So yeah, that's pretty much how the room was, but I'll list all that in the description box for you. So altogether, I will say that this trip cost, now accommodations are always going to be super expensive. So my room was $527. No, I'm sorry, not five. It was $500. It was like $560 something. So with all that together with tax, it came to like $600. So I ended up paying about, adding in, you know, food, because the food there is expensive. That's where you go make up for your money. You may think it's cheap to get there, but once you get there, the hotel is expensive, the food is highly expensive, the excursions expensive. So altogether, I ended up paying about $1,500 for this trip, which honestly, I don't regret it. I had a pretty nice savings, and I'm like, you know what, I want to spend something on myself, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it and just splurge. So yeah, about $1,500 is what I spent. And then where did I stay? Like I said, I stayed at the Smargata room, so I will post that in the description box. What did I pack? So Iceland, when I got there, their weather was like Colorado. Colorado has just the most craziest weather. It could be hot the next day, it could be hot one day and be snowing the next day. So I was pretty prepared for the weather, but I made sure to bring wet clothes. I made sure to bring like socks, sweatshirts, a waterproof jacket, a waterproof case for my phone, because you know we were outside. So I, you know, just be smart. Bring hats, bring gloves, bring extra socks for sure, because it was wet everywhere we went, and just pack warm. So I brought a whole bunch of leggings and stuff, and more important, I don't like my feet wet. I don't like my feet cold, because if my feet cold, then my whole body's gonna be cold. So I made sure to bring warm wool socks, and I had got all my stuff from the Sierra Trading Post. I don't know if that's in other places in the United States, but in Colorado we do have quite a few, and it's just a place of like camping gear, hiking gear, just a whole bunch of outdoor clothing stuff. So just find your nearest like Dick's or REI, like those places are good places to shop for Iceland. And then like I was saying with the how expensive it was there, because that's one question I got when I was out there. So I had posted on my Instagram like just the food I was getting, and I had got like a little basket, probably the size of my hand, a basket of fish and chips. I got three fish sticks, and like, you know, I got a lot of fries, and that in USD came to $19 just for a thing of fish and chips, 3 fish sticks. I was like, $19, $19.50. So I was like, yeah, I'm making up for it, you know. It's cheap to get here, but it's expensive when you do get here. So yeah, so that was that. So next question is, when I was there, the weather, how was the weather was another question. So I explored, I did 2 excursions. The first excursion, I explored the whole southern coast of Iceland, and then the second excursion, I explored the whole northern coast of Iceland. So north and south, of course, are different. So when I explored the south, it was sunny, blue skies, we had a little bit of wind. It was probably about 63 degrees. It wasn't bad at all. Like, it felt so good to me. Like, I was like, this is Colorado weather. Like, I love this. So we were able to get good pictures. It was sunny. We just got to see everything. So if you really want to explore, and I think I liked the south excursion better than the north. The north did have really good sights and waterfalls that I liked, but if we were to pick and choose, I would choose the south, because it just had a lot more, like, just everything was just so breathtaking in the south. So yeah, there was the weather differences with that. It was just sunny on the south, and then the north, it was snowing, raining, and hailing at the same time, y'all. Like, and the wind was just whoof, whoof, just coming in all kinds of directions, like just being all kinds of disrespectful. So I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness all my stuff I have on is just straight like waterproof, because we were out there. He was like, you know, we're gonna get your money's worth today. We can't just sit in the shuttle all day. Like, if you guys want to get pictures, you got to get out there. So I'm glad that I did purchase a little plastic case zip it over my phone because I was like, you know, when's the next time I'm going to be in Iceland? You know, I got to get these pictures. Like, I got to get up in this. So, you know, the rain and everything was not stopping me that day. So that was that. The food there. So they do have a lot of seafood. They don't have, how should I say this? They don't have cows. They don't have like, what they primarily eat is lamb, pretty much. All for their meat. That's all they eat for their meat is lamb, because they don't, I guess they do. Yeah, they do have cows. I'm sorry. They do have cows. So lamb and beef is pretty much all they eat. They don't really have that many animals out there. Like, they don't have any mountain lions. They have a horse. They have dogs, they have goats, they have lamb, cows, but they don't have much out there for animal wise to eat and stuff. But the food there was really good. I had went to this cafe. Yeah, it was a cafe. A lot of people on YouTube did go to this cafe as well, but it's pretty much a big bread bowl. It was so good, and it's filled with their lamb chop soup. I tore that thing up. I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so good, because it's like my last day there. Because Saturday when I did get there, I'm just going to go through my whole plan of what I did. So Saturday I got there. I took the shuttle to my nearest area of where my hotel. Sorry guys, my camera had cut off. So just to continue my room situation, I got back to the room, unpacked all my stuff, planned out my excursions of what I was going to do, because we weren't coming back to the rooms and stuff. So I had to make sure I had my clothes laid out, because we were leaving early in the morning for these excursions. So Saturday I got there, just chilled, did my grocery shopping, went looking around a little bit, and then Sunday had an excursion of the southern coast, and that was from 6 a.m. We had to be at the station at 7 a.m. and we didn't get back until 12 a.m. Like, you get your money's worth, and I probably paid about $230 for that excursion, and yeah, I got my money's worth. And so the next day, Monday, was my other excursion, and that was the whole southern coast. So then I'm sorry, not southern, the whole northern coast. And so that day we had to be at the station at 7. Our excursion was at 8, and then I ended up getting back at 6 from that excursion, and I was just so tired. I like showered and went straight to sleep. And then the next day I got to sleep in, and I just pretty much explored the whole city, went sightseeing, looked at all the memorials and monuments and stuff like that. So that was really nice, and they had really good just like the architecture out there was really nice, and it was just beautiful. So I was glad that I was able to do that and just really explore Iceland and to be by myself and just, you know, really be into the culture, not into the culture, but, you know, see how people are living out there, you know, just stuff like that. It was pretty cool. And then Wednesday was my last day. I pretty much woke up, slept in. I had to be at the airport at 1. So when you're out there, you do purchase bus tickets, but what I did, what a lot of people did not do, was purchase their stuff before they got out there. I am so glad I purchased like my bus ticket from, you know, I forgot to say I went to the Blue Lagoon, y'all. So when I had first got to Iceland, I went straight from the airport to the Blue Lagoon, and they say it's better to come straight from the airport early in the morning or do it when you're leaving. And so I got there early in the morning. I got to the Blue Lagoon at 7. Nobody there. The perfect time to go. It was so good. I got there. My ticket, they say purchase it before you do get there, because it could be sold out, because they have time slots. You do have to come when entering the Blue Lagoon. So I had chose mine for 8 to come. My time was from 8 to 10. I had to arrive between that time, between 8 and 10. I had got there super early, and I was scared that they weren't going to let me in, but they still let me in. So that was good. My ticket was $90. That was for a free drink and a free mask and a towel. So that was that was fun. But let me tell you, I just think it's a little overpriced for the ticket. You know, $90, come on. So yeah, that was really fun. You have to shower before you get into the Blue Lagoon. Now, it was 30 degrees outside. It was so cold. It felt like ice out there. But yeah, my phone had said 30 degrees. And so the water is hot. There's like hot points. It stays hot, but there's like super hot points in the Blue Lagoon that you do have to watch out for, that you don't know until you walk over it or walk through it. So yeah, the Blue Lagoon was beautiful. Like that was on my bucket list. That's one thing I always wanted to go, because I was like, where is this place? I always said, where is this place? Iceland. I was like, wow. And I was like, one day I'm gonna go. And then one day I went. So I was like, woo woo. So yeah, that was that. But yeah, that was pretty much my trip. But as I was saying before, it's good to purchase your tickets, your excursions and everything before you get to Iceland. Just make sure to plan everything out, you guys. Like, I got to the airport and so many people were asking me, oh, where did you get your bus ticket? Where'd you get your bus ticket? Like, where do I go? Honestly, I didn't know where to go because I had purchased my stuff before I had even got to Iceland. So I, was helping people out as much as I can, saying, this is with Flybus, which was very, very affordable. Like, the bus ticket was only $15, and this was to take me from the airport to the Blue Lagoon, from the Blue Lagoon to Reykjavik. So that's their main city in Iceland. So I was like, perfect. And then the ticket also from Reykjavik to airport when I was leaving to go home. So that was really good. And then with my excursions, I purchased my excursions before I got there. And that was very good to do as well, because a lot of people got on the shuttle and were like, oh, we haven't paid for it yet. And he was like, well, this is booked, so we can't take you today on this tour. You have to like pay for your ticket before you get on the bus. So a lot of people were unable to go on these excursions because they weren't purchasing their tickets beforehand. They were purchasing like last minute and not purchasing it at all until they got there. So I just think it's very important to just plan. Make sure you do your research, because everything was very, very convenient for me. My bus stop was a 2-minute walk to my hotel. The U.S. Embassy was right there. That was a walk. The hospital was right there. That was like a 5-minute walk. I can see it from where I was living or staying. So I think it's really good to just make sure, be aware of your surroundings. Know where you're at. Just in case if anything happens, you always need to know where the U.S. Embassy is. Can't talk. You always need to know where the U.S. Embassy is. If anything happens or you lose your passport or something just goes wrong, you need to know where that place is at, because that's going to be your lifesaver right there. If an emergency happens, you get an injury or something, or you eat something you're allergic to, it's always good to know where the hospital is, because their main language is English, so you're not going to have an issue with that. But I'm just saying, in other countries, you may not know their language and they may not know what you're talking about, so it's going to be hard for that. So it's good for you to know where these places are. So just be smart, have common sense, and I will be posting another video on solo travel and just what to do and prepare for a solo trip. I mainly specifically just wanted to gear this more towards my Iceland trip, and I will be posting that video down in the description box. So if you do have any questions or want to ask me anything, you can definitely leave it in the comment section. I'll definitely get back to you. So I think that was everything. That was my Iceland trip, you guys, and I do hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'll post the Iceland video down in my description box. Please go ahead and watch that, and then yeah, I'll be back with the solo trips or solo travel tips, and that will help provide a little more information on traveling solo. So bye guys, I hope you guys have a good day. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.